Well, it's that time. Open up the hanger and get back to work. So this time I'm going to go through and work on the horizontal stabilizer fairing tip fiberglass, as well as give you general stats about the overall project and what's coming next. Plus, if you stick around till the end, I have a bit of a, I don't want to call it a surprise because it's not a great surprise, but I have something cool going on. Right here you see me, I'm cutting out some cardboard that I'm going to use as a template. I kind of create it in the shape of a rib, and I put that into the excuse me, doing a test fit there. Put that into the fiberglass to test, and it's got to be really tight. It's got to be perfect. And so I sit here and I kind of wedge it in, and that's what I'm using, like a little dental tool, for lack of a better term, to kind of wedge it down in there and make sure I got the shape just right. And this is going to be the piece. This is what I've learned. This piece is really important because the better you make it, the better it fits. That's what your fiberglass sits on top of. So when you're doing the resin and whatnot, the flatter it is and the better you make it fit, the better it will turn out. And so here I am just shaping it ever so slightly. And this is a terrible view of it, but I'm shaping that rib so it'll fit in there. And like I said, it's just cardboard. You probably could use anything, but basically it's destroyed pulling it out of there. So I just go with regular old cardboard. Once I get that done, I go with the trick I had talked about in one of the previous videos, and that is to use tinfoil. So the problem with just using cardboard is that the cardboard itself would absorb some of the resin, and basically it would become a permanent part of the resin or of the fiberglass, which is not what we want. We want a freestanding fiberglass piece, and so Lynn, my buddy, said, just wrap some tinfoil around the rib, and the fiberglass resin won't stick to the tinfoil, and it works beautifully. And so what I'm doing here is I'm shaping a piece of tinfoil around the little cardboard rib that I created, and now you can see I'm test fitting it. And once I get it fitted and satisfied, I go get a bunch of trash and stuff it down in there to kind of hold it in place, and that helps shape and keep the shape of the rib, so that here, when I put it back on the vertical stabilizer, everything is hunky-dory and beautiful. And it is. It worked really well. I was supremely happy, and you'll see me do the stuff at the end. I do already have the results, but I'm going to save that for the next video. Here I go through, and I'm actually doing something slightly differently. Instead of doing like I did before, which was to put the fiberglass sheet down and then just kind of folding it over and taping it down, I decided to go a different route this time, and that was to actually cut it just about exactly to the diameter and width that I needed, or size that I needed, and then just using gobs and gobs of resin on there, and to see if that would do as good a job. It actually did an infinitely better job than the folding over methods that I was using previously. So that is the way I'll be going from now on. But I am sticking with doing it on the plane. So here you see I am actively putting tape on the metal parts, and you'll see me put it around the fiberglass bits that there already, because that resin, it can make a mess, and the cleanup of being able to just pull tape off is definitely the way to go, as opposed to having to scrub it off of the metal or whatnot. So a little bit of painter's tape goes a long way here, and kind of saves you some headaches. So that's what I'm doing here. Then it's just a matter of going through and mixing up the resin. You've seen me do this many a time. Put the resin in a cup, put a little bit of the stiffener stuff in it, like 10 drops per ounce, I think it is. And then it's a matter of just stir, stir, stir. It was a beautiful day, and you can see I rode my motorcycle. I'll talk about that more later. But yeah, pretty cool. It's very pretty out. A couple times while I was out there, I kept looking up in the air because I thought I heard planes, but this whole day, I never saw a single plane. Oh, and these gloves. Oh, I hate these gloves. I don't have a latex allergy. These are not latex gloves, or these are I guess, rubber or something else. I have really big hands, and so they're painful to get on. It took like 2 minutes to get the damn gloves on. But here you see I'm now applying the resin, and I'm using Jan's spatula, the magic resin applying device, that, you know, $2 spatula from Ace Hardware. And then I just keep pouring more on and gobbing it up, and pour more on and gob it up. And I'll talk to this later. The one mistake I did make here is that I did not level the piece. I should have made sure that the piece was a lot more level than it is. It's ever so slightly off, and so the result came out ever so slightly thicker on one side than the other, because that resin, even though it's super slow moving, it is still liquid, and it will level itself, if you will, for lack of a better term. But I'll let me from the past talk a little more. So here I am cleaning up my tools, and yeah, this was cool. Well, so you just watched me put down the last piece of this effectively. I put the fiberglass resin on the fiberglass fairing tip at the top of the vertical stabilizer. This here. That means I'm effectively done. There are, if I remember correctly, roughly 96 pages to the empennage, and the very last 2 pages are things that you're going to do once you have the fuselage and everything else, get it all hooked up. It even tells you, you know, these steps don't come with this kit, they come with the next kit, etc. So, I mean, that's it. Hello. I'll take a look at some of these and see how much of them I can do, but I honestly think that at this point we're finished. Or for the most part we are. I've got a couple days before the wings get here, so I'm going to go back over my plans, go back over everything that I can, tighten bolts, and just generally look at things to make sure that we've done a good job. I say we as the royal we. And make sure I didn't leave it, forget anything. And now's a good time to do that. So, wow. Never-ending project, right? I'll put some stats in the upper corner right there. But basically, it's I started this on February the 14th. It is December the 5th right now, and that's not too bad. I know I'm a little bit less than an hour per day, averaged over the course of the time, just due to life, and hopefully I'll speed that up considerably when the wings get here. So, good times, guys. Probably now I'm going to give you a little bit of a montage of the entire build process. Thanks. So here we go with the montage. Stick around to the end, and I have a little bit more video after this. I would like to point out that it was like 7.5 hours of video that I had to, copy and put in place and get this montage for you guys to see. That's a lot of video. What the hell have I been doing? I kind of wanted to go back through all the videos and remove me where I'm talking to the camera and just have the build, but that's a lot of work. It really was a lot of film, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to show all of them. I would like to, or I probably will be doing this for all of them, and for those of you that if this is the first video you've seen, every one of those video that's speeding by at 15,000 times sped up is actually on YouTube and available, so you can actually watch it in normal time, and I have voiceovers and I talk to what I'm doing, etc. So cool, huh? So 2 questions I've been asked recently are, what would I do over in the build process if I could do it all over again, and why the RV-10? What would I do over? I would add more cameras. I would film more of this. I have to admit, I'm really enjoying the filming process and creating these videos and talking to you guys and getting feedback. That has been just amazing. I really totally enjoy that. So
Thank you for all the feedback, but just know at this point I'm doing this as much for myself as for you. As to why the RV-10, I can actually go into this in detail on the website on my blog, but long story short is I was looking at, planes that could do the mission, and the Vans RV-10 was one of the planes. I had my eye on a couple other, but the RV was what I ultimately landed on, and it's a cool plane. Especially now that I've gotten to ride in a couple, that was neat. I definitely made the right choice. Anyways, so when this finishes up, I'm gonna have another outro video, and where I get to pointlessly pontificate everything that has come and where I'm going and all the kits to come. Still a lot to do. Yikes.
Okay, so like I said, I put stats up. 316 days to do the empennage. That's my completed date. I don't want to call that the finish date, because the finish date is when it's on the rest of the plane, and truly I can put the empennage sheet or booklet away. We're not quite there yet. But 316 days, 294 total hours. That's not bad. I mean, 294 total hours. If I didn't have a job, or a life, or a family, could have probably done that a lot more quickly. But, or at least the same number of hours, a lot less days is probably the best way to look at it. 294, I mean, if you did that in 8-hour days, I mean, you'd have that knocked out pretty quickly. If you had somebody to help you, it'd be knocked out even more quickly. So, old ass plane. Oof, looks terrible. Look at that. Yikes. So, there are roughly, 6 kits? Because there's the empennage, the fuselage, the wings. There's the finishing kit, which doesn't actually finish it. There's the interior, which we'll call a kit, all the avionics and all that. And then there's the engine, and hanging it and doing the electrical for that. That's 6, effectively 6 big major kits. Well, if it took me a year to do the empennage, not quite a year, but you get my point. My original estimate of 5 years, probably not terribly far off. So, okay, I can live with that. 5 years it is. I want to do it quicker, though, of course. Who doesn't? I'm that guy that I want everything now. So, anyway, it's a quiet day at the airport. Usually on a beautiful day like this, it's just calm and pretty. Usually there's a lot more airplanes coming and going, but I don't know. Everyone's at church, I guess. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. The empennage is pretty much effectively done. Here soon I will start working on the wings. I may have a couple more updates between now and then where I'm just puttering and working on things that I missed, or something that I want to just show. In the meantime, if you have any questions, or if is anything you want me to show you specifically, or just chat, reach out and we'll chat via YouTube. Good times. Thanks, guys.